Hey everyone, I am going to show you how I store all of my planners and journals that I'm currently using. I put up a journal tote video just a little while ago. It was about this one. This is the Hello T.s.l. tote. And this is basically what I use to keep all of my accessories and tools and things like that that I use for planning and journaling. But this is where I keep all my books. This is a little tote. It's from Ateliers Penelope, and I actually got this one directly from their website in Japan. You can normally find this brand at Ballpoint, but they do not carry all the styles. So they do not carry this tote, which is called the Clam Tote. It's got a really, really wide base, which is what I was looking for. So I ordered directly from their site, and they have this little banner that pops up at the bottom. It's called like World Shopping or World Shipping, and it's basically a third-party company that will make the purchase for you and then charge you for shipping. It's very easy. And then I find that even though the shipping was high, the same items, if you purchase them from Ballpoint, they upcharge to compensate for that shipping cost. So the price is basically the same, whether you purchase it directly from Japan or from a place like Ballpoint. Anyway, I have this in the olive color, and it's a super funky bag because it has this zipper that closes everything up, and I think that's kind of charming. It's not just like any regular type of tote. I have my star pins on here, and some of these setups don't have dedicated videos that I've made, so I'm just going to go through those in here too. It's just going to be kind of a hodgepodge kind of video. So I'm going to take all these things out. This is my Hobonichi Weeks. All of these covers I made because I'm just such a fan of this Maverick leather, and I just learned how to make it myself because I started getting really particular. And so that's what I use now for everything. So this is my main planner, and I will link the video where I talk more in depth about how I use the weeks for planning. And then I have this is an A6 Fleurir Lab, and this is what I use to for daily to-do lists, basically. So I'll link that video below as well. And these are kind of my two main planners. And then the rest of these are sort of journaling type things. But let me just empty this out. It actually holds a ton. And as you could tell, I had everything in here resting on their spines. That is how I prefer to store any of my books, because I find if you store them upright over time, gravity will kind of bring down your inserts in the space that's left down there, and it will pull on the spine here, and things just tend to shift over time is what I have found. So I really wanted to store everything on their spines like this. So I was looking for a really wide bag like this, and I love it. There is a full-length pocket that goes from edge to edge on the inside, and this is where I keep my passport, which there will be a video below about this. This is my main journal. It is what I am writing in every single day without fail, and I keep this in this little pocket here because I can grab it in and out, and I don't disturb the rest of the contents in here. They're not like flapping over and falling over. So that's where I keep that, and that is the only pocket that's on the inside of here. And I initially thought that perhaps I could push this cover down and use it as sort of an open tote, but just FYI, the way the zipper is and where it stops here, it does not sit flush against the sides of the tote. And then you don't have access to that pocket that's inside there. So like this is almost an A5 size, but it's the height of an A5. It kind of butts up against the sticker or the zippers, and this has the clip hanging over the top and it starts catching on everything, and you can't fit as much in here. So it's basically not going to work like that. But I'm okay with that because the zipper here is actually very, very small, and it's plastic and it's very nice and rounded. So a lot of the things that I have zippers with metal teeth. In fact, this Hello T.s.l, it has this really big zipper with metal teeth and the edges are very sharp. So a lot of the things that I have are like that because, you know, metal's more durable. But I'm so glad this one doesn't, because I don't have to worry about putting my leather items or whatever it is in and out of here, because it can rub up against this and be totally okay. This is still a YKK zipper though, so I know those are really good quality. So I bought this with the intention of putting all my stuff in here on their spine, and anything that I found that actually had a really deep base like this, it also tended to be extremely tall, and I knew that I needed a really, really short type of bag for what I was going to use it for. So I gotta say, I am really, really happy with this. I've had it for, over a month now, and it's been absolutely fabulous. And I really do love this olive color. I think this one only comes in like 3 different colors or something, but I do love this. It kind of goes with my aesthetic. So I'm going to go through some of these setups that I haven't mentioned in any other videos. All right, so first of all, I have this. So this is my standard traveler's notebook, and in the past, if I have shown it in videos, it was always this one. So this poor thing, I couldn't make this one jive for some reason. Well, it was always like one reason or another. So this used to have pockets sewed in it, and it made it really big and bulky, and then it was not pliable. Like, it didn't mold like I really wanted it to. For some reason, I just really wanted this whole setup to mold around my inserts and be really soft. Now, Maverick is not famous for being soft or pliable at all. And I found once I cut the pockets out of here, it was amazing. It was so amazing, and I really, really loved it. I also sewed on the brass nameplate from Traveler's Company. I felt like it just needed a little something extra, and I loved that. And because the inside was now blank, and it was just, you know, kind of a raw side of the leather. And then I had 2 knots here from sewing this brass plate on. I decided that I wanted to cover it in fabric. I absolutely love this. I bought this fabric off Spoonflower with the intention of using it in here. I love the colors in here, the olives and browns and stuff. It's just amazing. And I was wanting to do this after I had done this leather folder and put fabric on the inside of this. And this is a completely different kind of fabric. And basically what happened is I started applying the glue to this cover, to the inside here, and I ran out. And so I had to order some more. And then when it came, all of the glue that I had applied did not feel tacky anymore. And on the instructions, it does say that you can apply 2 layers. So long story short, I applied 2 layers of the glue, and what ended up happening was it made it super stiff. And I'm sure I could break it in, but I haven't been able to yet, and I'm just really impatient, and I don't like grabbing this. So I set it aside because it is so stiff, and I really shouldn't have put 2 layers. So I'll remember that for next time. But I love this print so much, and I really loved how this turned out, and I'm so bummed that it's not working out quite yet. So anyway, I took my Maverick leather and I found, you know, a less dynamic piece, and it's super pliable because it has so many cracks in it. And I love the way this hugs everything. It's just so satisfying. And normally I don't like texture like this, but for some reason it just works so nicely in here. It's just satisfying to me in ways I can't explain. But this is what I use to collage, and I have a little insert in here, and it's kind of a no-name kind of insert, and I collage in here. I collage memories and stuff like that. I'm not in here like super crazy often, but when I get the hankering to collage and just journal in that way about something, it's not really words, it's more just images and the tactile experience of using different ephemera and stuff. That's when I'll get in here. And yeah, that's kind of it. Oh, I got this little charm. Oh my gosh, I got it from Journal Station. It is, let me see if you can see this little face. Yeah, so she's a little chestnut girl, and it's from like Ivy Snow. I will link it if it's still there, but this reminds me of my little baby girl, and I just had to have it. And I'm not a charm person, but this one just kind of sang to me, so I keep it on the little zipper pull of my like wallet insert thing in here. I just use this to keep extra photos and ephemera and stuff like that. This does not have a closure though, because I didn't want a closure. I'm weird about closures. I didn't want one across, and then I didn't want the vertical one again because it tends to pull, like it will bow kind of like this. If you're not careful, the leather has to have a certain rigidity, and there's just too many factors into it. And I thought, if this is flexible enough, I can do it without needing a closure, and I don't, and I love it. So this is my little standard, still has the little crown on top. And I'm actually thinking, I was kind of playing with the idea of doing like paint or something on here, but I think I'm actually more drawn to patches. So if I can find some patches that actually mean something to me, I think I might put patches all over this. So I think that's all I had to say about that. And then this is the Ehon Note. I am still working on this thing. It is some slow movement through here, but that's just because my journaling has kind of changed as well. This is just the prettiest journal. I think I'm only on page like 58 or something really terrible like that. I'm hoping to finish it by the end of the year. If I don't have this finished, I think I'm just going to retire it at the end of the year, because I have some different plans for next year based on kind of the habits that I'm forming right now. So still going with this. I don't do it daily at all. It's just not how I journal anymore. But, and then these are my two planners that I mentioned earlier. And then just quickly, this is the passport. And I actually, of course, I didn't prepare for this at all, so I don't have like anything censored in here. But this has changed since the last video I did on it. I actually had the Travelers Company sticker release paper insert right here. And I took that out because I just was not using any of the stickers that I had in here. So it was just taking up space. So I literally have the 3 Travelers Company weekly dated inserts in here. And I have the one for my family, and then I have the leather folder I made, and then an insert for each one of my kids that I journal to. And streamlining it like this has been great, because everything that's in here are things that I actually use on a regular basis. And for this setup, this is a daily a daily thing. Now, I don't show the insides of these because they're not like decorated in any way because they're so small. So I'll do a quick just flip just to show you kind of like what it kind of looks like. See, it's literally just writing. So I like that because if this is going to be a daily thing, it cannot take up much time. It has to be quick because by the end of the day, which is when I write in here, I'm usually really tired. I'm ready to just wind down, and I just take my pen out, jot the things down in here, and it's super quick. And then I feel more relaxed after knowing that I have preserved the memories in here of the day, because that's just what's really, really important to me. So the last thing that I have is this. This also took forever for me to find a happy place with it. I don't know why it was so difficult, but this is like, this holds my prayer book, basically. And probably, was it yesterday? I think yesterday is when I finally got this to where I was very, very happy. So I love this cover. This is the first time I made a closure like this, and it was pretty much the worst thing I had ever attempted because making this curve was so difficult, and I almost lost this piece of leather which I had saved for this because it's so dynamic, and I almost ruined it. So it's not perfect. There's like this edge, I really need to get like an edge beveler and bevel this because it's so thick, and then maybe burnish this part. I don't like to burnish my edges typically. I really just love that rawness about it. But this one I feel like I need to, kind of also because I hacked it in certain places, but whatever. This button I also didn't put in extremely well. This side is fine. It had been a while since I installed snaps like this, so I totally forgot that this side needed to be on a hard metal surface even, or a concrete surface, and I didn't. I hammered it in like a softer, I don't know, it was something softer. And so basically the metal part is like poking out, it's not smooth on the other side of this. And it's kind of like indenting things, so I had to kind of compensate for that. But anyway, I have this, like you can see right here where it kind of is indenting, but I actually put a piece of leather, a thick piece of leather behind it, and that's working great. So I just have an Midori A6 gridded notebook in here, and it's kind of what I use. It's more like a commonplace kind of book. And I did have a half year Stationery A6 in here, and for many reasons that wasn't jiving with me, and I couldn't get it to where this whole thing felt good together. So then I have my prayer book in here, and that's basically what I made this cover for, to fit this prayer book. And then I have this notebook to complement it and jot down anything I want to jot down. And then this is, I made this yesterday. So this was like the finishing touch to this whole setup finally. But I needed a place to put my pen. And I was actually using this one. This is what I actually made for my passport setup, to keep a pen on here, but I quit needing to keep a pen in here. And speaking of pens, I'm just super inked up. Fountain pens are so annoying. But I use this now to keep all of my fountain pens and stuff that I use, which is what I use in here. So I quit needing this in here. And so I threw it in here to keep my pen, but it obviously doesn't fit well, and I didn't make it for this, so it doesn't go with this. And this has a pocket, which I ended up finding kind of useless, but it looks pretty. So I made this one yesterday. I made the pen loop a lot smaller because I actually prefer to keep my pens by the clip in the pen loops. This is how I do it in my Hobonichi Weeks. I keep it like this, and it's just so much easier to use on the go, being able to just have to worry about the clip and not the whole pen trying to wiggle it in there or anything. I just prefer it so much more. So that's how I made this one. And what I did was, this is a piece of Maverick leather, and then I took this glazed harness leather and cut out the cross, and I just glued it on top so the Maverick would be peeking out, and kind of am in love with this. And this was just like the finishing touch for this whole setup. For some reason, I just really didn't want to decorate and collage like I normally do. This just hits different. So I have my icon here, and then I made this, and then it's like the puzzle came together and it felt absolutely complete. So that's what I do with this. Actually keep it kind of backwards so it fits in a little bit better. But I just keep it on top like that, and that's how this is set up. And gosh, it's so pretty. I love it. And I kind of carry this around everywhere, like around the house, ever since I, set it up yesterday. It's just been, I've just been really drawn to it, and it's just been with me. And the prayer book has morning and evening prayers, so I've been doing that, and I get to kind of hold it and take it with me everywhere, which I love. And then for this, so I have been trying to use these brush pens. I've got 3 different ones. I just kind of went digging through my box of unused writing instruments, and I've been really liking when like Mitts or Jane from Jane the Crazy, the way that they just write normally with a brush pen. And I like the way that looks. Yeah, so here I was kind of like testing it out, kind of just writing without trying to be perfect and loving the look of it. So everything I wrote in here were with all these 3. They're all kind of similar, and they're all random. Like this is the Tombow Fundenosuke, the calligraphy pen. This is the soft tip, my hard tip, which I prefer over this one. It was capless. The cap fell off somewhere and it was all dried out. And then this is a Kuretake one. I have no idea. I think I got this free from like Danica 58 or something. But it's like the Tombow hard tip one. And then this is the Pentel Sign Pen. It's just in the black. I just prefer black. But I love this, and I'm kind of incorporating it into my weeks when I'm planning, and then some in my journal here. And so I've been keeping them in the back of here. I'm not really sure what to do with them yet, or if this is something that's going to take, but I wasn't using this back pocket in this Hurlestone, so decided to throw them back in there. My pens are just a hot mess. They're starting to stain the inside. They're the worst. But I still have the same pens in here as usual. This is the one that absolutely exploded on me last night, and I'm getting to the point where I'm getting annoyed with them. And then it ran out of ink in the middle of me journaling, and I was just like, man. And then I just have the Traveler's Company. This is the Ballpoint pen, but I hacked it and put a Pilot Coleto gel pen refill in here. Because I don't do ballpoint. So those are still in there like that. And I keep this, in this clam tote bag as well. And it's really all I need, like on a daily basis, it's really all I need. This extra bag full of stuff is just there for when I have the hankering to do extra things. And then, so I'm actually kind of, trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing next year. And I'm sticking with the Hobonichi Weeks. I actually pre-ordered the Take a Note, and then I canceled it just the other day because Fleurir Lab is coming out again with the B6 and an A6, and I'm just gonna go with that. Yeah, and I already pre-ordered my 3 passport inserts in here. And I only ordered those from the whole Travelers Company release because I'm playing with the idea of getting like another planner. And so I just really pared down the things that I wanted. So I canceled the Take a Note. I didn't get any of the accessories or extra things from Travelers Company. And yeah, so we're gonna see how all of that kind of goes. I think that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope your plans for 2023 are going well. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all soon. Bye.